Greetings, foolishies. It is I, the foolish one. Welcome, welcome. I'm down here making this video today because I wanted to explain something. It was inspired by something that happened on a live stream last night. I was with the beautiful ladies last night, and we were having a blast. You know, the thing about the tarot community is I've run across some very kind people. But you know, you can be kind and funny. Did you know that? Weird. I was signing off because it was my bedtime, man. It was like, because you know, oh, I'm decrepit. And I skipped nap time yesterday. So anyway, I'm signing off, and I said I'm going to take my old fat ass to bed. And immediately, because they are beautiful souls, they said, hey, don't talk about yourself like that. Don't be down on yourself. And I was like, oh no. Oh, I'm dealing with civilians. Kind-hearted, generous civilians. I think I'm going to stay off the live streams for a while. I should have known better. You can't just say those things to people who live in a construct of like guilt and shame and self-hatred. I don't. To me, this is just a simple language barrier. I'm a huge fan of like comedian roasts, and I'm not talking about how they turn it into a big show and now it's got all these sound effects and a huge audience. I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about the roast battles like in that New York club. They're just down there in the basement with like 10 or 20 people doing a roast battle. The thing about roasts is, I think a lot of people don't understand it's not just an excuse to offend each other out of fun, which is totally possible. But it's also, you know, especially when you're doing it for a friend of yours, to me, one of the most loving things you can do. And I think it has a lot of integrity in it. Let me explain why. My twin, who's obviously not my twin, first of all, the age difference is gigantic. Anyway, she has a birthday next month and she wanted a roast. And her husband, who is probably the purest soul I've ever met. I mean, I'm not saying he's innocent. I'm not saying any of that. What I'm saying is he is pure love, that guy. I've never met anyone like that guy. And he doesn't even have to make an effort. It just comes right out. Like if I had to guess, I would say this is his last time here. Do you know what I'm saying? Super wise, kind. Probably could be a savage if he needed to be one. But even then, he doesn't spend time thinking about it. It just, it just comes through him. He's very unfettered. He doesn't have neuroses or any of this crap that a lot of other people have. It just flows right through him. Anyway, he was very uncomfortable about the concept of doing a roast, and I think there's a lot of integrity in acknowledging a loved one's flaws or perceived flaws, poking fun at those, and then basically saying, I see you exactly the way you are, and I love you. All right, now that's different than ignoring someone's personality traits, falling in love with some projected image of this person that may or may not even be accurate. Maybe to satisfy one's own ego or whatever. Because people get very surprised by other people that can openly discuss flaws, physical flaws, personality flaws, and not tie that to some sort of guilt or shame. Does that make sense? Well, first of all, what I said last night on the live stream was half of a lie because I do not have a fat ass. I was just talking about the general, my ass, right? People take that a lot as me being down on myself or like I have some form of shame about it. None. I have absolutely none shame about it. I have none shame. None. I know what my flaws are. I know every nook and cranny about my appearance and most of my personality. I'm able to discuss these flaws in a lighthearted manner because it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean that I'm less valuable. It doesn't mean that I don't love myself. Best friends in the world. We go back and forth each other, busting each other out. Oh my God, almost to the point of tears. But that's a strong bond you can have with someone. When you can do that, and you know that that person still loves you. They've seen all of your ridiculousness. Here's the other secret. Everybody's ridiculous. Everyone is ridiculous. Everyone is flawed. Everyone makes mistakes. Everybody has a strange physical something or other. You may not even see it on the outside. You don't know. Somebody could have been born with like an extra testicle or something. You don't know. There's no such thing as perfection. In fact, those rug weavers, they'll actually put a mistake in, and it's called a signature. And that's how I see it. So when I'm acknowledging that I have multiple chins or that I'm a super heavyweight human, I'm not being down on myself at all. In fact, what I'm doing is being real with myself. Those things don't mean to me what they mean to other people. And I'm explaining this because there might be a key to your freedom in here somewhere. My little diatribe today. Do we try to hide our flaws because they think they mean something they don't? And what part of the brain tells us to do that? To disavow parts of ourselves and to put them on other people? Wouldn't it just be easier to just clearly see all or most of your flaws, right? And maybe they're not even flaws. They're just the way they are. Maybe we don't even need to use the word flaws. Idiosyncrasies, whatever. Everyone's got them. Everyone. If you were that great, you wouldn't be here in human form. This is just my working theory. But I'm going to tell you something. It grants me a lot of freedom. And I'll tell you something else. It gives you a distinct advantage over those that would try to make you feel terrible about yourself. You can't do it to me. I've said multiple times, and you wouldn't believe how fast people stop their nonsense once you explain this. Somebody was going off on me, and I looked at him and I'm just like, hey, here's a list of people that can hurt my feelings, and you're not on it. They're not on it. Do you know who's on this list? Me. I'm the only one on this list. I'm in my own power. Other people don't have the power to F up my day. Do you know who has that power? I do. Because it's the way I evaluate the situation. Or it's an expectation I have about it. Or I'm not seeing things clearly. You know, I'm not seeing what's really going on because I want to disavow things that I think I can't handle. I can handle it. There's no need for me to get down on myself. There's no need for it. I mean, obviously it's going to happen from time to time, especially if it's like some behavior that caused a problem. I'm going to be like, dude, like, I effed that up. Why did I do that? Oh, it's because I'm ridiculous. Doesn't make me any less valuable of a person. It doesn't. I'm almost afraid to see what this card is right. The Hermit, exactly, because I'm gonna be isolated for a little bit till I just have to be more careful, basically, because people they think they have a cause for concern, but there's no need for concern. One might even say I love myself a little too much. I'm pretty into myself, you guys. Like, I'm my favorite person in the world. And that sounds super self-absorbed, right? But, I mean, I've often wondered if maybe guilt and shame are completely self-absorbed. Also, it takes up a lot of time and energy that you might be able to use to help other people gain their freedom, to get into their power and their own authority and make their own decisions. If they see you being free, maybe they'll see a way that they can be free. But if you're saddled with guilt and shame, you're not free. You're not free. You know, even trying to convince yourself that you just, oh, well, I'm just satisfying different beauty standards. Who said you had to be beautiful in the first place? Who said that? Like, does not being beautiful mean that you're less valuable as a person? No. No. It's a mind trip, dude. It's a loop. It's a loop. We're all ridiculous. We all have physical features that other people aren't going to like. So what? Life goes on, you know? Life goes on. We can just stop worrying about it. We can just stop worrying about it. We only feel shame because we assign a meaning to it. This is my theory. So I just, you know, this is a little ranty, but man, you should have seen the first draft of this video. Dude, fire, okay? I'm just trying to be... Me being intense, I don't think is going to drive the point across. So anyway, thank you, ladies, for being concerned last night about whether I'm being down on myself, but I'm not. I love myself. Then other people are like, oh, you know, that's a defense mechanism. Humor's a defense mechanism. And then I'm like, defense against what? Against what? If you're bulletproof, you don't have to defend yourself. You know, if you're in your own authority, you don't have to defend yourself at all. I don't know, just a working theory. I may change later. I may come to understand this differently later, and that's fine. But for now, I'm good. Okay, we have some cards here. Morgan, I don't know what's going on, but you know what? We're going to read these because maybe later I'll be like, yeah, Morgan was right on. I do feel like I should have picked cards instead of doing pop out. I do feel like that, though. All right, the Hermit. Introspection, gaining insight. Seeking or having spiritual enlightenment or philosophical wisdom. Looking for guidance or giving guidance to others, mentorship. solitude, choosing to be alone. This came right up right after I said, you know what? Maybe I should stay off the live streams for a little bit. Kind of like assess how I'm going to communicate with the tarot community, because honestly, I don't think me being a savage is going to cut it. It seems to be a bit of a language barrier, you know? Things don't mean to me that they mean to, I have a different meaning for a lot of things than other people do. Unhealthy smothering, overindulge, spoil, coddle, infertile. Super happy about it. Lacking maternal drive or instinct, disconnected from nature, maybe. Then we got the Five of Wands, which I feel like I am doing battle against this like well-established institution of guilt and shame. Clash of ambitions, different or opposing goals, uncoordinated activity, crazy environment. Hey, listen, wherever I go, there I am, right? Lack of unity, disharmony, not working as a team, squabble, altercation, discord, hostility. I'd like to think that I practice more of like a spiritual hostility, if you will. Competition or rivalry. Maybe between me and the concept of guilt and shame. Because I'm not having it. And you know what? I don't want it for anyone. I don't want anyone to feel like that. It's just I don't really have any control over that. But what I can do is share with you the way I see things, and maybe it's useful for you. Meek, submissive, too flexible, willing to tolerate unacceptable behavior in others. Man, I mean, I don't know how. That would have to be pretty severe for me to not. Afraid of direct confrontation. Well, that ain't me. Soft approach doesn't work. Well, I could have told you that. I still soften up this video, though. But check this out. Wheel of Fortune. Serendipity. Good luck. Luck always changes. Everyone has ups and downs, and that is true. And that doesn't make you weird. It just makes you human. Random chance. Unpredictable. Advice. Go with the flow. Accept the inevitable. And simply do the best you can. Yeah, man. Just work with what you got, man. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be beautiful. It doesn't have to be enlightened. It doesn't have to be anything. Just do your best. The way you are right now. That's why I don't even believe in positive and negative much anymore. I mean, there's obviously negative things, like, you know, entire movements are spawned by negative and institutionalized and systemic issues, okay? I don't have a problem with that. I'm talking about day to day, like in your mind. If you call something negative, there's a theory. If you call something negative and then you think you can't handle it, do you try to mitigate it with like some kind of like mental chicanery and gymnastics? Because you think you can't handle it? You can handle it. You can handle it, man. You would be surprised about all the things you can handle. A turning point. What goes around comes around. Good. I almost wish I could switch places sometimes. Just so, I mean, every life has challenges in it, because otherwise we wouldn't be here, right? But I just feel like, do you know how much free time I have? Because I just don't engage, like, I don't even recognize it anymore. Like, I had to be reminded that when people say negative things about themselves, and to me, I'm just like, it's true, except for the fat ass part. Oh, I wish I had a fat ass. It just doesn't mean anything. I don't care. It has nothing to do with my value or the way that I see myself. It's like busting on my car. if I make fun of the fact that I got scratches all down the side of my car? Does that make me a less valuable person? Should I hate myself because of the fact that one of my tires has like a slow leak in it? No. The fact is, one of the tires has a slow leak in it. What does that mean as me as a person? Nothing. Maybe I'm a little bit of a procrastinator, okay, but that doesn't mean that there's any reason for guilt or shame. Am I making any sense at all? Is there anything in here that can help God free yourself from underneath those two life killers, God, and time wasters, and just the energy? The energy, man, that could be used to do something that you love to do, or, you know, a creative project, or helping other people, you know. It just, man, just consider it. If you do have a lot of guilt and shame, guess what? I don't think you should have any guilt and shame about that either. Weird, right? I still love you. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you at another time.